Hey there, welcome to day 10 of our Get Up and Go Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Yesterday we talked about your change reaction. How do you respond and react to changes and challenges, setbacks, obstacles, good things or bad things that pop up in your life that are a surprise, that you hadn't anticipated, you didn't expect, that you didn't really know were going to happen to you or occur in your life. Guess what? Those things happen all the time. Not as big as the pandemic, but things happen all the time that cause us to have to make changes. Usually it's just a few of us at a time are making changes based on different experiences in our life. But with the COVID-19 pandemic, millions and millions of people, the entire world, globally, we were impacted and required to make massive changes in a lot of different areas and aspects of our life simultaneously. Nothing like it. I mean, I've experienced on a personal level changes and challenges, but I have, in my almost 61 years, never experienced anything like it. So I had the opportunity to look at, how do I respond to changes and challenges? How do I do it? What do I do? And out of that, I realized, okay, well, that's what I've done in the past. Part of it worked for me because I'm still here today surviving, but some of it caused me actually more pain, more struggle than if I had handled it in the situation in a different way. I think of my divorce. If I had handled my divorce in different ways, in different aspects, maybe done it a whole lot sooner, I would have saved myself a lot of negative energy, negative pain, negative trials and tribulations and drama that I didn't personally need to experience. But I didn't know it at the time. We always do the best we can given our circumstances, our level of experience, our knowledge, our wisdom. At the time, we always do what we think is in our best interest, and it isn't until we learn through experiences what really is in our own best interest. So today we're going to talk about, we know what our reaction is now. We looked at that yesterday. How do we change your reaction? How do we change our reaction to make sure that we're going to get better results as we grow and learn and have more experiences? Well, I learned a tool from a woman by the name of Lynn Grabhorn, and actually from her books. She had passed away by the time I was exposed to her books. But following my sudden cardiac arrest, I was looking for, on a personal level, that was my biggest personal challenge that I've ever faced in my life. You know, if you die, that's probably as big as it gets for a personal challenge. So since I didn't stay dead and I survived that particular incident, I had to make a lot of changes in my life. And I had heard about her book. I actually had the book, but I hadn't read it. So somebody recommended, you need to read this book. And it's called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. And there's a companion playbook that goes along with it, which I, since last year, again, have been going through and doing. And she teaches in it a concept called the flip switch. Just like flipping a switch, if you've got, everybody's got light switches in their house usually still. You can turn a light on and off as easily as flipping a switch. Well, guess what? We human beings have the ability to do the exact same thing with our emotions and with the way we feel and react to things. So she goes through, you know, a couple of chapters and lots of exercises in the workbook on how to do this, but it's not that complicated. It's just thinking about what you have done in the past or what you're doing or how you're reacting right now, and then instead of being negative, flipping it to the positive, flipping it just to the opposite. So what I like to do for today's action item is I like to take my list and I just figure out, okay, what are the behaviors or the actions or the feelings that I'm feeling from yesterday's activity, yesterday's action item of my current process, or maybe the process I've used in the past and I've tweaked it a little, but this is the one I documented yesterday. I just list out some of the things I caught myself doing: resisting, denying, ignoring, complaining, acting like a victim, you know, saying why me, getting upset or angry or negative, looking for a way out, procrastinate, do not take responsibility, do nothing, freeze, no action, things like that. And I just list them out, and then to flip the switch, I say, well, what's the opposite of that? How can I turn that negative thing into a positive thing? Because if I'm resisting change and if I'm pushing against it and I'm doing things to undermine it, is that hurting anybody else? Probably not. It's mostly hurting me. And so I don't want to do that. So what is something I can do that's the opposite of resisting? Well, I can accept what is. I can just say, okay, well, yeah, that happened. Yeah, that pandemic happened. There's nothing I can personally do to stop the pandemic. So I might as well accept what is and then move forward from there. If I'm denying and saying it didn't happen, well, I'm probably trying to live in la la land or live in the past. So what do I need to do? I need to be present. I need to live in the present moment and say, okay, yep, what I did yesterday isn't going to work today. I have to be present in today. What am I going to do right now? If I'm ignoring it, I have to open my eyes and open my mind, and I have to be willing to see the impact the change or the challenge is going to have on me. I can't ignore it. I have to open my eyes. I have to jump in with both feet with my eyes wide open and determine what's important for me. If I'm acting like a victim, or I'm going to cheat and look at this list. If I'm acting like a deny, ignore, open your eyes or your mind, complaining, I just need to take the emotions out of the situation. I could complain and I could bitch and moan about the coronavirus all I want. And is that going to change anything? No, it's probably just going to make me feel worse. So I want to get out of my victim hat and my complaining, negative, denying, angry, closed eyes, resistant, procrastinated, negative way, and switch to, and to me, that's focusing on the problem. All of that is focusing on the problem. How much control do I have over the problem? In this example, coronavirus, zero. I have zero control over the pandemic and what's happening with that. It's like being upset about the weather. I have zero control about the weather. So years ago, I just decided it is what it is. The weather is what it is, and it's my job to just behave accordingly to whatever the weather is today. Right now, we're having a 10-day super duper cold spell. So thank you, coronavirus. I don't have to go very many places, so I don't have to go out in the cold. But it's my responsibility to respond to the weather. It's my responsibility to respond to any challenge, any change in a way that will best serve me. Resisting, denying, ignoring, complaining, being a victim, not taking responsibility, freezing, pretending it doesn't exist. All of those things actually hurt me because they don't get me moving in the direction I want to go for my life. So what are some others? Getting upset or angry, just get excited. Get it excited, because whenever anything happens, even if it feels like a door is closing, there's always so many more opportunities and so many possibilities for us out there. One of the questions I like to ask is, what else is possible? Okay, yeah, that just happened. Oh my God. What does this mean to me? What else is possible? You know, what do I initially feel like it means to me? Oh my God, my life is over, the world is ending, the sky is falling. Or, oh my gosh, there are all these things that I can do now that I didn't think were possible for me before. You know, I think divorce is a good example. When I was married and unhappy, I felt like I was stuck in that position. But as soon as I realized divorce was inevitable, it opened up all the other possibilities for me in my life. It's followed by flip switching and saying divorce is a bad thing, it's terrible, I'm never going to get divorced, to divorce opens up and frees me for all kinds of different opportunities and possibilities. It changed my perspective and way of looking at that. And instead of resisting it, I just accepted it and moved on with it. And we need to do the same thing with any kind of change or challenge. Coronavirus, changes in our business, changes in our employment, changes in our relationship, changes in any area or aspect of our life. So today, our assignment, our action item, I like to call it an action item instead of an assignment, is just to list out from your process. You know, these are just a whole bunch of things I thought of from the way I've impacted or been impacted by challenges in the past. But your list might be just one or two things. And then what you want to do is say, okay, what else is possible? What's the flip switch? What's the opposite of that negative thing? I say keep the positive aspects of how you handle change, but we only want to look at the ones that are negative or heavy or not in our best interest. You know, freezing, doing nothing, and procrastinating and pretending it's not our responsibility. All of those things, to me, when the coronavirus hit, felt heavy and negative. So what's the flip switch of that? Well, for me, it was the get up and go challenge. It was to pick one baby step and move every single day in the direction of what I still wanted. I wasn't going to give up on what I want to create in the world and how I want to show up on the world just because we're having a pandemic. Just because my business was shut down doesn't mean I'm going to quit and throw in the towel and I'm not going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. So today, flip switch is our tool. Action item is to look at the negatives that you had, flip it around, and just share in the comments below one thing that you flipped and what you flipped it to. I think that would be really beneficial for all of us, because we'll all phrase it and we'll all say it slightly differently, and how I say it might not resonate with you, but how you say it might totally resonate with somebody else and might totally resonate with me, and help us all as a group and a collective to learn and grow and handle change better together, and better on our own, but better because we've learned from one another. That's it. Have an amazing day. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. If you've got a thing that you're like, I don't know what the opposite of this is, I don't know what the flip of this is, ask in the comments below, and I and other people will comment and help out with that, because that's what we're here for. Have an amazing, awesome day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow for day 11 of our Get Up and Go Challenge. Get up, go do this, see how happy and light it makes you feel. All right, have an amazing day.